Hey guys, I hope you're doing okay today. I hope you had a good restful night. I did sleep, but not as long as I wanted to, but that's just the nature of the beast. So I wanted to touch on two videos that I put up there already, like using, molehills are easier than mountains, and using your tools, to help you. Like one of the things I do is I use my walker for more than just to help me walk. If there's something like, a load of laundry, those can be really hard on a chronic pain patient. So I use my walker to carry the basket and or the folded clothes, because sometimes I do my laundry or fold it in my living room for certain reasons, but I usually have it where I need it. But I still use my walker to transport my loads of laundry from one location to another, because it does keep my back from being overused too quickly, if that makes any sense. It helps keep it from wearing out too fast. So there's that, just kind of think outside the box, again, glass half full attitude. How can I make this happen? What tools around me do I have that I can reinvent so that I can make my life a lot easier? But I wanted to touch on the suicidal depression, whether you're chronic pain or not, because I did state that, yes, you need to take people seriously that are, talking about wanting to end things. And there is also a good and bad side, and there are people out there who are going to abuse, suicide as a means to, in the wrong way. And that's what this video is about. So, talking about it, and again, this is where attitude makes all the difference in the world. Talking about it, coming to terms with it, God, I hurt. I just don't understand why, I'm having to go through this. All that's okay. But, I'm personally, and I'm sure many viewers could probably name a person or two who's done this. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to commit suicide. Or if you don't do XYZ, then I'm just going to kill myself. That's not okay. That is not okay. And that should be avoided. However, if somebody does make those threats to you, it is perfectly okay to step aside, and not let them use that to control you. But you do still need to get them help. You can call the authorities, if you don't come over and help me, or if we don't have this relationship, or, if you don't do this in this relationship, then I'm going to kill myself. Yeah, no, that's not okay. And, again, boundaries are perfectly acceptable. So if you have somebody in your life that's doing that, set your boundaries. That's not okay. But you still need to take it seriously. Now, if for any reason you can't escape this person, say, broken families and broken homes are very common these days. So if, you're the person that you're having to co-parent with does try to tell you, or anybody in your life, but especially in a divorce case, I'm going to commit suicide if you don't blah, blah, blah. Okay, that is an example of somebody that you cannot escape. Until or unless a court order does help you with that and help you, get away from a situation like that. You do still need to, okay, it's okay to have boundaries. And, one of the things that, I've had to do in my past is each time that's mentioned, I'm going to call the authorities. You're going to get your help, and I will take you seriously, but it's not me that's going to come check on you, because that's essentially what that is they're trying to control you. And that I did want to tap on that because, yes, suicide threats should be taken very seriously. And, at least if this person's being real and they're being serious, then at least if they go through with it and succeed or don't, or if they, if an attempt happens, whether they succeed or not, at least you can be at peace knowing that you did what you could to make sure that that person got help. If you can't remove yourself from that person for any reason, and especially if it's, a failed relationship, but you have children together, then obviously it's going to be harder to be able to separate yourself, but that takes away that means of control. And chances are they don't want the authorities to come, because usually it is a bluff in a situation like that, so they will stop or slow down. But again, you still need to take it seriously, but it doesn't have to be you that goes and checks on them if they are, making these threats for all the wrong reasons, okay? And usually if someone goes around, I'm going to commit suicide, I'm going to commit suicide, if this doesn't change, I'm going to commit suicide, it's a means of control, it's manipulation, and it's not okay, not by any means. So make sure that, again, that this is another reason why, in anyone who fights depression, attitude makes all the difference in the world, okay? If you are actively getting up and trying, you are actively trying to tackle your battles, when you make statements like that, you will be taken seriously, and somebody's going to come talk to you and try to help. But if, you do continue with, I just want to end it, I just want to kill it, I just want to kill myself, and it's just constant, no one's going to be there when you're serious, and they have good reason for that. But again, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't take suicide threats seriously, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't not take them seriously, but it also doesn't mean that you have to be the one to deal with it. There is a difference, and I wanted to put that out there because there are so many that like to manipulate. And if they see that, hey, people are walking away from me, that maybe I need to stop. Okay? So again, if you know somebody who is making those statements, it is perfectly okay to let them know, hey, I'm not playing your games if that's what you're playing. If you make a threat, it's not going to be me that comes. I will send authorities to come check on you. And at least that way, if something, like I said, if something like that does happen and they do make an attempt, whether they succeed or not, you're not going through with that guilt that you didn't do something to try to help them, okay? So, I definitely wanted to touch base because that a lot of people do use that as a means of control, in a failed romantic relationship, and it's perfectly okay to have boundaries and say enough. It really is. Sorry, I got an eyelash in my eye, I think. But it's perfectly okay to have boundaries. It's perfectly okay to say enough, but you still need to take them seriously. And there is nothing wrong with, walking away if you can, if you're able to, if you have that choice. And even if you don't, you can still have your certain boundaries. Or if if a parent's doing this to the kids, okay, that does need to stop. I've actually known a few parents that, have done that. And of course, I don't associate with them anymore. But again, if you can't get away from it, do everything in your power to, try to get it to where, the time with that person is as limited as possible. But definitely have your boundaries. Definitely have your boundaries. And it's perfectly, and I know I'm going in circles on this because it is a real issue too. And that's the bad side of suicide threats. So whether you're a chronic pain patient, you're battling depression, or just suffering from depression, don't go around saying, I'm going to commit suicide, because one day, if you are really there, you're not going to get the help you need. No one's going to take you seriously, and for good reason. And if you are on the receiving end of that, you don't have to be the one to respond. Of course, unless this person's living in your house. But if they're not, like say you get a call and it's constant, I'm going to commit suicide, feel free to tell them, each time you tell me that, I'm going to send authorities to your house. Chances are that's going to slow down, because they don't want the neighbors seeing that they're needing a constant mental checkup. Okay, so that might help slow it down. So I did want to touch base on that because, there's good and bad sides to all aspects. And again, yes, we should take suicide threats seriously, or when someone says, I'm just ready to end it all, we do need to take it seriously. But if you're constantly hearing this from a person, try that approach and see what happens. There's nothing wrong with sending a will check. Please do that all the time. I've had to make that happen for different reasons, not for suicide threats, but they will do that. And chances are, if you go that route, follow through, because a lot of times people take it as a bluff. And it doesn't need to be a bluff. You need to show your boundaries. Actions speak louder than words. Faith without work is dead. So if you tell this person, hey, you mentioned that to me, it's not going to be me that responds. I'm going to send the authorities to you. I will send the police and do a check on you. Chances are you're not going to hear it again. And if you do, send them. Send the police to go check. Hey, this person's been making this statements, and I just wanted to let you guys know they need a will check. I would really like for someone to go check on them. And you can, chances are, unless you know the person personally, they're not going to reach you back. But you can let them know if you want to hear what their findings were for that person or not. And you can make that choice. And at least that way you did your job and you've shown them, I'm not bluffing. If you're going to make these threats, I will check on you, but it's not going to be me. And that way they can't use that to control you, which is manipulative. So I did want to put that out there because, again, I'm sorry if I'm going in circles. I didn't sleep as long as I wanted to. I am getting, my molehills taken care of that I've let build up through the week. Because that load of laundry that I had in one of my previous videos, I just took care of that. So, but that's the beauty of it. You can take care of it when you're ready. So, and of course, I was raised, you're going to help me clean if you're going to make the mess. So anyways, I did want to touch on that. If somebody in your life is making those threats, feel free to tell them. I will send authorities. And that's going to be embarrassing because nobody wants to. It's like, why are the cops over at so-and-so's house? I don't know. Let's go check on them. Ooh, they've been making suicide threats. They don't want that, okay? It's an under the table means to control you. So, if they continue, you're not bluffing. Call the police if you have their address, okay? And you can even give a phone number to the police. Like, hey, I'm getting these messages. Things are not okay. Make sure that you're a person of your word. And that's where character comes in. That's where your efforts come in. People are going to know that you're serious. So once you show that you're not bluffing, that you're going to send authorities, chances are you're not going to get those threats anymore, okay? So I just had to put that out there. Again, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And although, not everybody that suffers depression are chronic pain patients, and so that did remind me that, there are people out there who do like to use suicide as a means to control the person or people that they're trying to control. And it's not okay. But it is okay for the receiving end to have boundaries. So I hope that idea helps you. I have had to do that. And trust me, it worked. So it only took one time of calling the authorities to go check on them. I never got another call or text, and eventually that person did just drift away from me. So anyways, you guys have a great weekend. I wanted to put that out there. And if you are battling chronic pain, I did have a neighbor. Yeah, I keep rambling on. I did have a neighbor come to me last night, which is part of why I didn't go to bed as soon as, when I wanted to, but it was beautiful. I don't know who needed it more, me or this person. But she, this person did give me some good insight, and I did too. And that's why it is important to talk about it. It's okay to describe, it's okay to explain what's going on, but try not to complain about it, because you have people that are willing to do that. And she gave me some ideas on what she does to help her get stuff taken care of around the house, and I was able to give her mine, so it was a win-win. So anyways, I hope you guys have an easy day. Again, if you are battling chronic pain, find something that makes you happy, find purpose, and hey, I'd love to see more people on the media that are doing similar things. Okay, this isn't me. I don't want to be this public, but I would love to see, if you feel comfortable being raw, be raw and, get your side of the story of chronic pain and what happened to you. You don't have to give, too much information. You don't have to give specifics, and it's best not to. Just, doctor, hospital, your surgery. You know, give your personal details if you want. But I would love to see more people that are trying to outreach. It would be great to see that. So you guys have a great day. I do got to go get my house clean, or get my molehills taken care of, and I do have an appointment for my boy to get groomed. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day.